people. This is our last tackle club box for a while because we've got so many lures to go through, and we're changing our fishing videos up to fortnightly videos just because it's getting a little bit hard to keep up at the moment. But
hard to keep up. I mean, both of our lawns are getting away from us. Like his is out of control. Have a look around the pool.
Ignore around the pool. No one uses the pool. No one likes this pool.
We don't actually swim in it. We just swim lures in it. So
yeah, pretty much. It's a lure pool. But yeah, this is our last box for a while. We've got some interesting stuff. Another Barra box. Even though it's too cold for Barra, we were kind of hoping they'd focus on Jack. But we got heaps of different stuff in here to give a whirl to. So the first one we're going to look at is the Dimiki Axe Serpent. It's a floating lure, about 20 grams, I think.
Focus on the pack. Focus on the pack. These cameras are great. Anyway, you get the drift. It's floating.
Yeah, it's a floating 130 mil lure, 20 grams, so it's good cast weight. The colours we got are a bit interesting.
Yeah, interesting, but I kind of like them.
So do I. Definitely don't hate them.
Pink on top, blue heads, bit different. White sides, it's going to grab anything's attention.
Those
a little
eyes,
bit
man.
of yellow.
Pearlescent eyes.
Yeah, the eyes are actually pretty good. I like that. And the orange body. So you got spinning out the wrong way. I'm trying to get the eyes. Yeah, there we go. Those eyes, they're good. And the white body, it's going to grab anything's attention as it's going through the water.
Yeah, there's absolutely no information on these that I can find at the moment. Not on YouTube, not on anything. That's helpful.
You really like spiking yourself with all the lures we get.
Yeah, this one already got me like 3 times.
I swear that's half the excitement for you. Not actually catching a fish, is catching your finger.
Yeah, so I'll probably go down the other end. Figure we'd give it a spin for you and show you how they go. So I guess the first one will be a bit of a surface from the view from the surface. And
Straight into the weeds.
wasn't that fucking typical?
I was going to say, story of our fishing life.
Oh, of course.
And it's hooked the weeds. Man, it's like we're freshwater fishing all over again. Well, technically we kind of are. Okay. You might have to swim it along the edge.
Yeah.
There we go, it's got a nice action to it. Doesn't dive very deep, but still, that's not bad.
Yeah, we've just thrown this together. I snapped this off in our last video. So I'll get the underwater camera out. We'll do a bit of a... Yeah, that's recording.
Well, you've actually got to get it going pretty quick to get that action going.
100% you do.
So it floats. You can twitch it and stop. Oh, and it jumps. So that's actually a pretty... You got to work that pretty fast to actually get it going.
So yeah, that's that one. I actually want to fish this one. I have a few places in mind on the Calliope River. The screen just turned off, yeah. I've got a few places on the Calliope River that I'm keen to actually swim this, especially those rocks where we pulled the trevally from.
Yeah, I reckon that'd do quite well there. So, we found a nice little spot right next to Farmer's Island, or just on the bottom end of Farmer's Island. And it's, yeah, the goods. I reckon that one's actually going to go pretty well because you've got a good mix of rocks on one side that's harbouring quite a lot of fish, and you've got mangroves up the other. So it's all in all, it's actually a nice little spot, and I reckon this little guy here is actually going to do quite well.
I've already busted the paint.
Imagine what the fish are going to do to it when they hit it.
Yeah.
But then again, lures versus rocks and concrete don't usually do too well.
That they don't. Alright, we'll
Grab the next one out.
I think everyone's probably seen these ones by now.
These ones are the Berkeley Shimmer. These ones are good, but this is a 5.5 inch pearl white. Me personally, I quite like these style of lures. I've got a few of the smaller ones, and I've done really well on them. I've got grunner, brim, and flathead on them. Oh, and cod, lots of cod. So these ones are actually really, really good. Yeah, paddle tail design. This one here actually has a treble coming off the bottom of it as well, which is an extra little stinger hook, I guess, just to ensure a good hookup. So anything that sort of comes near it for a bit of a sniff, fingers crossed we actually get a hookup on this one. But I really like the look of it. Let's get it out of the box and have a bit of a closer sticky, if I can do this one-handed. Why does everything want to argue with me this afternoon? Here we go. There we go. So that's quite good. Yeah, I quite like that one. Really nice design. Trebles out of the bottom. And that one should swim really, really well. It's a sinking lure, obviously, so.
And that's going to be the main issue of this lure.
That's going to be your issue with any lures with fucking trebles on it.
This is why I don't like the armor prawn. It does it every fucking cast.
Yeah.
Armor prawn is by chaser baits. Don't buy it.
Okay, so it's actually not a bad looking lure, but yeah, it does tangle up really, really good. It's a good looking lure, has a really nice action to it when it actually works. Spends more time with the trebles hooked around the main line than what it does actually working, but anyway, that's beside the point. Let's have a look at the next one. Now, both me and Harley actually like this next lure. It's just extremely large. It's one of those lures that, well, I don't even really know how to describe it. It's just a big, it's a twitch bait, I think. Is it? Yeah. Slow thinking, twitch bait. But have a look at this. Now, I don't know if you can actually see the depth in those scales, but that's a paint job over the top, and then it's got a nice like foil in behind it. Small bib on the front of that there, and nice trebles. So this one's a Rapala Super Shadow Wrap. It is a, I don't know if that's coming up. It's not, because it doesn't want to focus. Gotta love the GoPro. Still getting the hang of this. So swimming depth is 3 to 4 meters, apparently. It's a 3/8 of an inch. No, it's got to be bigger than that. I don't know. Harley got excited when he opened this one up, and he's torn a few of the specs off the top. But yeah, so it's about that big. My hands are small, so it makes it look bigger. But I actually quite like that one. It's, even though it's a really big lure, it's going to be interesting to see how that one goes. So, while he's tying that little guy on.
Ooh, good. It's anti-hook my hand.
Man, you'll find some way of being able to stab yourself with it for sure. Guaranteed.
Oh,
And it's hit the deck already. You really like fucking taking the paint off these lures before you get a chance to fish them, don't you?
you gotta see how durable they are.
Yeah.
Didn't even scratch them, to be honest.
Now I'm really liking the look of the way this is working, man. This has got a nice roll on it. That's got a really nice roll. And it does actually dive pretty well. See how it goes on a twitching action. Give it a couple of twitches. Oh, that's nice. I actually really like that one now, man. I mean, I liked it before. It's sort of like a cross between a twitch bait and a crankbait.
And it's a slow sinker.
Nice. Slow sinking as well. So the longer you leave it, the deeper it is.
Really not sure how I'm doing getting these shots without actually being in the water.
I do like that one, man. I actually quite like the action on that. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, well, I've never really used lures like this before, but I do like it. It is a lot bigger than the lures I usually like to use. But, I mean, if you can... I mean, we've got a good visual on how it's swimming. I guess that's going to give us all the information we need to know how to swim into the snags and be less likely to use it. And that's my issue with lures like this, is getting them in the snags and losing them.
Yeah, because the treble's on the bottom. The minute you touch anything, bang, you're stuck, and it's just a pain in the ass. But
yeah, and everyone's like, well, if you're going to catch fish on lures, you've got to throw them in the snags. But you don't want to lose this, like a $20 lure on its first cast.
Nope, that's right.
So this hopefully will give people a bit of in-depth on how it swims, how it acts. I probably would rather throw this one in an open bit of an alleyway in between the mangroves rather than casting it into the roots itself.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. You'd try and fucking throw it up a gutter or something like that.
And that's the same as these other ones, like the white paddle
tail. The Shimmer Pro.
That one, having trebles on the underside of it, I'd be throwing it more in an alleyway of mangroves, maybe not directly into them, or maybe a weed bed. You'd still hook the weeds up, but you're not going to lose it.
No.
And then the floater, that'd be rocky structure, because at least if you hit the rock, you can go, ooh, bugger me, and it'll float back up, and then you can rig it back through.
Bring it back to you.
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad. Now these next two lures, both me and Harley were sort of umming and ahhing about them, but they've kind of grown on us. I got to admit, I like them, but they are big, really big. So, we've got the Bait Junkie. These ones what is it? Bait Junkie Minnow in a rust glow color. Now these are a 6.2 inch, so they're massive, like huge big lures. But in saying that, I actually like the look of them. These ones are supposed to be floating too, so we'll see. But you rig it up with a weighted weedless, and it should go down. The other one that I'm really not too sure about, but I like the look of, just because of how big it is. Now, I've never heard of these before in my life. Homunculus by Pontoon21. So, these things are a 6.5 inch. They're in a paddle tail style. Now, both of these are actually paddle tail style. Both the Bait Junkie ones and these Humongo lure things. Now, these have got a really nice rib belly on them, nice big flat paddle tail on it, and they should actually work alright. So which one of these two are you going to tie up next? The pontoon?
Yeah.
Just because it's interesting. Yeah. The old homunculus. God. I wonder who comes up with the name for these things, man. Like, seriously.
Need some more people to make lures with a dirty mind.
Yeah. Alright, so that thing looks like it needs Viagra, but it should have a pretty good action in the water.
Well, everyone I see fishing paddle tails these days has ribbed ones. Mad Mix Plastics in Brisbane. Shout out to him. We do nothing for him. I don't even buy his lures anymore, but he makes a whole bunch of different ribbed set of plastics, and they always do very well. He's always posting videos getting fish. I think he's north side of Brisbane. I used to buy his gear, but again, I had no idea what I was doing back in the day. It's only since I've been back in town here that I've actually gave fishing a good red hot crack. Shut up.
I didn't say a word that time. Didn't have to. I think all our viewers said it for you. Put in the comments below how many times does he spike himself in this video.
Yeah, this isn't rigged up perfectly.
Yeah, that's alright, just for a swim test. Okay, so that paddle tail's actually, that's not too bad. That's got a slower action than I thought it would. It's a bit of a twitch and a roll.
Although that's... No.
Yeah, it's definitely got a roll going. It's just not.
I think that could be the way I rigged it though.
Yeah. She's definitely got plenty of action.
That tail goes fucking spastic even at a slow moving. Although I don't mind that little roll that it's got because it adds a bit of a fucking twitch into it.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, so that's not too bad.
Now, because I may as well. We all know what a bait junkie swims like, but we may as well get it on. We're already going this far.
Yeah, well, hey, it's our last one.
These jig heads actually came with this kit. They're 7.0s. They're not weedless, but they have a little thing there so you can add some extra, whether you want to put a treble on the front or maybe some of those Eco Gear stingers.
Yeah, and it's something like that to add a bit of extra fucking oomph
Or
to
even
it.
a blade.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, a blade spinner coming off the bottom probably wouldn't be a bad idea either.
What's up, Nugs?
Hey, Nugget.
Savage Nugget, that's why she's back there. Nah, she's not that bad. She just thinks lures taste yummy.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying for another bit of surgery for her this recently. No, she didn't eat a lure last time. She's a self-mutilator. If there's something in her body she doesn't like a growth, she'll be like, well, this just isn't okay, and she'll bite it off.
Not meant to be here. Get it out! Get it out!
Pretty much.
I wasn't telling you to get out. Poor thing, she ran away.
Yeah, she's probably still nervous because I was yelling at her about that dog this morning.
Yeah.
Dog got in the yard and tried to get one of my little ones, and then she was like, no you're not, and grabbed it.
Bye-bye. Big dog gone.
Yeah, well the dog was bigger than her, and in our yard at 2 in the morning, whatever it was. I don't even care, that's not tied on
Nope.
perfectly. Now, I haven't done the straightest job of rigging that up myself.
Yep, so it's about as good as mine. We both did about as good as each other with rigging these things up. We're both still trying to get the hang of how to get the hook straight through them.
QAL card nearly went to the bottom of the box.
Whoop. Then you would be going for swim. Alright.
Ooh.
That one's got a tighter action in it than the other one. Although it doesn't have any action on the sink.
No, that has definitely got a shitload more action than the Pontoon 21, which surprised the shit out of me.
Yeah, considering how floppy the pontoon was.
Although I'm saying that, this one takes a little bit to actually get into action.
Yeah, like it won't, the minute you stop, it won't actually have any action on the sink, whereas the Pontoon 21, it's going on the sink. Like if you stop that and let that sink, yeah, that's got no action on the sink. So it's more of a retrieve lure, whereas the Pontoon 21, that tail's going from the minute it's in the water.
Yeah, this is a bit of a more fast-paced.
But that, it's got a nice tight action on it. That kicks a lot harder.
So, yeah, that's that. So every 2 weeks we'll put out a fishing video. In between that, it'll be lures we've bought, lures we're thinking about using, lures we've found that we've had for so long and want to try out. Like I wanted to try that bit of plastic that I have. I don't know where it is right now.
Oh yeah, that really old school one.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
know.
now I swear, man, these things. He's brought out this box of lures and went, "Hey, check these out." This was like last week or the week before, and I've had a look at these things, and they look older than the pair of us put together. Yeah, I know I'm a dinosaur. Stick it up your butt. Anyway, so and one of them was a soft plastic lure with a bib on it. Never seen anything like it in my life. Now this thing's really interesting. It's got a joint in it and everything. Not that kind of a joint. Fucking cheeky bastards. Anyway, so I'm actually quite interested to see how these things swim too. So
Actually, I posted on Gladstone Fishing Network, and everyone reckons they're There's a few getting around still, but they were made on the Gold Coast for a while.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go. So,
Everyone asked me how I fished it, and I was like, yeah, I forgot to use it.
no idea, hasn't been in the water. Which you can actually tell because it still looks in really, really good nick. So that's probably going to feature on our next lure video.
I know we've been doing flathead pretty hardcore lately, but I'm going back again with some of these lures and the ones that are coming from Anaconda because I really want to try them out.
He's hooked. Only because I keep out fishing him.
I'm always using the wrong lure. I'm always like, oh, I've got to use this chaser baits one. I've got to do this. This is my challenge, and it's shit.
Me, I'm not as adventurous as him. I just stick to what works. But then again, he does pull it off. I got to admit, when it comes to lures, he's way better than I am. It's just I know which lures work for me, and that's what I stick to, and it works.
No one saw me pull the treble out of my finger just then.
There we go. That's stick number God knows what. Comment in the fucking... Put a comment down below if you're counting how many times he actually stuck himself. There's another one.
I'm done with this.
Oh shit. Alright guys, well we'll sign out at that, and we'll see you when we're out in the water next. Peace out.